I grew up in this lovely area, PG County. Until I was 13, and then we moved to the Deep South, the Eastern Shore of Virginia. But not before I got a chance to see Cirque du Soleil's first North American tour. And it just blew the whole paradigm of what circus could be in this country, and set me on a path to join the circus to get the hell out of the Eastern Shore of Virginia. I couldn't wait 5 years. This was going to be my ticket. So I started practicing juggling just feverishly, and had a steady diet of Charlie Chaplin. And 2 years later, I had a chance to audition for a little 3-ring circus that was coming through the area. And to my surprise, they were like, yeah, when can you join? And I was like, oh my God, you know, I guess like when I finished the 8th grade. So like, here's our number, you know. I just had to convince my parents, let me go to the circus now. And I gotta tell you, I was surprised how cool they were with that idea. They were like, we'll drive you. So I joined Rogers Brothers 3-ring circus. I was living the dream, kind of. That's right, not Ringling Brothers. We were like the generic store brand of the circus world. But I was 15 and it was pretty awesome. At first, there was like a big convention of circus fans going on, and then I saw where I was going to be staying, and he's like, you'll stay here. And it was like the back seat of an 18-wheeler cab with somebody else's pillow and blanket that he just throws out. There's 2 llamas tied to it. They're like trying to decide who to spit on first, me or my grandmother. The first night, there's a little metal window in the back. It says pull, so I did, and the whole window comes out. So now I don't have a window for the rest of the tour. And everybody gets a nickname because it's a circus. Mine was Freak Show. Because apparently I don't even fit in a fucking circus. What are you gonna do? I had my first paycheck stolen because, as it turns out, probably in part because I didn't have a window. And the guy who was living in the 18-wheeler before I so rudely took it was the head of the tent crew, Big Jim, whose name was not ironic. But things were starting to go good and hitting a turning point. I was also in the tent crew, I should mention. I was a roustabout. So we just finished setting up the big top. I'd had a 4 quarter-pounder peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a little spliff. And I passed out on the picnic table, wake up to a bee pollinating my face. And I gasp for air and suck the bee into my mouth, and it stings my tongue. My face just starts to balloon into Elephant Man. And I run back to the food cart because the chef is also the nurse, and she gives me a Band-Aid. So I call my parents. I'm like, I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but they're like, it's still the East Coast. Like, it's tongue on the tongue. I don't know what to Benadryl. So if 1 Benadryl's good, 6 is probably great, right?
Oh no.
I pass out. I wake up to Kansas City Candace, my one friend in the circus, just kicking me in the ribs because the pre-show started and that's part of my act, is entertaining the crowd. Couldn't see the grooves on my face to put on my makeup. I just run out there and had one of the best performances of my life. I didn't have a chance to get in my head about it, you know? But my real dream was to work with Cirque du Soleil. I too was a bit of an activist and had PTSD, except I like to call mine protester traumatic stress disorder. So after the Bush administration, I moved to Montreal to study the art of mime, clown, and self-medication. I was starting to work with artists and directors from Cirque du Soleil, and it was fulfilling this dream of mine, but every day seemed like an audition, and days turned to weeks, into months, into the year. I was doing my head in, and eventually I kind of started to spiral the drain. Became a bit of a hardcore addict, and I knew it was a matter of time before I got back to the States, before I got arrested. And I can remember the day I got arrested. I had a psychic feeling I was going to get arrested. It's probably not worth mentioning. I had that same premonition every other time I used, but I had this, what's called unwanted thought syndrome, and basically it's I'm trying to put out these foxhole prayers of please don't bust me, help me get through this, da-da-da. And while you're at it, go after yourself. I defy you to bust me, because that's how I pray on crack. Be careful what you wish for. I was arrested at gunpoint, charged with possession with intent to manufacture and distribute crack cocaine, facing 40 years, and discovered with a crack pipe under not 1, but 5 pairs of underwear. Yeah. Was reduced to simple possession after a DNA test, but I get clean. 2 years into my recovery, I'm meditating under a tree that had been struck by lightning, and I have this familiar feeling come over, and it was basically the same thing I'd been chasing using drugs I was able to achieve with meditation. Got me out of my fucking mind. So I ran away from the circus to join Om.